Good morning, Denise.
Good morning.
Mark, are you muted? Yeah, you're muted. Mark, unmute.
Morning. Watermelon man, start your day out.
That? I'm going to close the curtain. Big right now.
Very sweet, Doug. Very sweet.
Good to see you, Doug.
Can you hear me
Wow,
now?
I forgot what you look like.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
So I guess
I can, Doug. I can see from your
my voice is. I'm hearing echoes here.
Oh.
All right. Turn off my laptop.
Okay. Definitely a little slowness on the computer as I move. But Doug, how you doing?
Sleep
You're
deprived.
smiling.
Can you hear? Is my voice on? Or
Yeah, your voice is on.
can you hear me?
It's on.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Why aren't you sleeping?
Huh?
Why aren't you getting any sleep, Doug?
I got about four hours last week.
Wow.
I went 4 days with zero sleep.
Why?
Couldn't sleep. Was up all night. Didn't sleep at all last night. I've been up since The last sleep I got was, what day is this? Sunday?
Yeah.
Friday night into Saturday I was asleep. Yeah.
Ooh.
Something on your mind, the whole virus thing, or what?
No, it's just
Well, nobody's working.
we're gonna
Nobody's bringing money in, and you can't get out, and can't. Yeah.
Crazy. I'm working from my hotel room.
Where are you? What hotel?
I'm in Westminster.
What hotel?
Why are you in a hotel?
I had that flood in my house. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I had somebody that flooded it twice on purpose, and so they're finally doing the renovation. So they put a pod outside and moved all my furniture into the pod. And they're replacing all the floor coverings and the walls and the paint and bathrooms and all that fun stuff. So
Person did a number on us.
I can't sleep there. And then, of course, there's mold in the walls. They got this big mitigation thing set up, big tent, and blah, blah, blah. So, no fun. Hi, Batty.
Hi, I'm here.
Good morning,
There
Betty.
you
Hey,
are.
Betty. Hey, Dee. But Denise is there. I've seen her a bit.
Hi, how is everyone?
Oh, good. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you. Hi, Sharon. Patrick. Hi, everybody.
Hello. And there's Diane. She turned her speaker on so we can hear her now. So we're getting there. There's Bert. Morning, Bert. And Laura's there somewhere.
I'm actually.
Nice keyboard setup, Doug. That's fine.
Am I on now or not?
Good morning.
Yeah.
Morning, Bert.
Hi, how are you? How's everybody?
Thanks, Scott. I'm going to grab some coffee since we got a little bit of time here.
Carol's here.
Good morning, Diane. Hello,
Good
Betty.
morning.
Hi, Lee.
Good morning.
Carol, Bert, Mark,
Morning.
Sharon, Dee. Good morning. Hi, Laura, and Barbara.
Hi. I'm hiding today.
You're hiding today.
Yeah.
Bad hair day.
Yeah, lots
We're
going on.
playing hide and go seek.
Yeah.
Carol,
That's what happens when you
Carol?
cut your own hair, you know.
This is what happens when you cut your own hair.
Hey, Chris. Hi, Bob.
There's Chris. Bob.
Patrick's in
Morning. Mr. Mrs. G.
a hotel.
And
Good morning,
Bob.
Bob.
Morning, Glenn.
Morning.
It's Sharon. Good morning, Bob.
Morning, Dee and Lee.
Morning, Barbara. I see Barbara there, but I don't see a picture.
She's stealthy.
Oh, okay.
Incognito.
David.
Yeah.
So you don't get confused. Wait a minute. Why is this?
Sci-fi.
I see the piano. And I
It
see
keeps
the
moving around. Is it supposed to?
I see the icon for the piano too.
Yeah, use the icon as the music. The live picture is just me live. It's
Yep.
not the piano. So I don't want you to get confused on which line is the piano.
You're assuming that I'm going to meet the challenge.
Yeah, well, the icon is The icon is the audio.
I think I can handle that.
It's iconic audio.
I actually tried to turn my video. I tried to turn it off on my tablet, but as soon as I did, you get two icons that are the same. So that would be really confusing. See if I turn this off. Now you got two of them.
Oh, yeah. It'll be a problem. Okay.
Good morning.
Hey, Kay.
Clarence is
Jim.
reheating his coffee. I may follow him.
Well, yesterday, Mark made the most fantastic cookies in the whole world. I love trail mix, and we got this like supreme trail mix with almonds and raisins and M&Ms, and he made cookies with the trail mix. Oh my God, irresistible.
That's not
I
fair.
made brownie.
That's not fair, Sharon.
I know, we have sacks of them around here.
Yeah.
I see that's a past
We
tense.
do need to start getting out of the house. That's what we have to
Hey, Dick.
do. Just have somebody eat this stuff. You know.
And Kay
So we're going to
Countryman,
food
thank
making
you.
problem.
Welcome to our Zoom meeting.
No, not with the trail mix in them. Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning. I got warm coffee now, so.
Oh, now I'm jealous. I'll be
We
back.
can't hear you, Clarence or Kay.
Did you? We're not muted.
We're not muted.
He's just deaf.
Morning, all.
Morning.
Morning.
Hello, Doris.
Do you want more coffee? I can make some more coffee.
Oh, you made some more?
I could if you want.
Oh, no.
I see
Just put it in
Denise.
that jar, Myra.
Long time.
I'll have some coffee.
Yeah. If you know how to send them automatically to me, I'll take some.
Yeah,
Good
we
morning,
haven't got
Glenn.
that
Good
technology
morning,
yet, but
Kay
we're working on it.
Okay, well, that's good.
Those transporters working.
Yeah, you're not up to the space thing yet.
Yeah.
Star Trek, I guess, is what I was trying to think of.
Okay, countryman.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning,
Hey,
David.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm doing the mobster look this morning. What do you think?
Heck,
Alright.
haven't seen him yet.
No.
I say I'm doing the
Where's the
mobster
cigar?
look this
I
morning.
get it. That's a bold.
Oh, yeah.
Does it give me
Wake us-
more
you just
spiritual
wanted to
authority?
wake us up.
You got your Guido suit on.
The Guido suit, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, but can I ask him if he has pants on? No.
You can ask him if he has pants on. We all know each other. You can ask him that.
So I see that everybody or many of people have checked in. Good morning, Laura Coffer. And 423, there's Pam. Okay, we're cooking. Hi, Sue. Hi, Pam. Hi, Glenn.
Hi, Sue. Hi, Sue. Hi, Rose.
Have they started?
And Ben. So can't hear Kay or Clarence.
Yeah, we're here.
We are not muted.
Here,
My
puppy dog.
volume is up.
Hey, we can't
You
hear
can't
you.
hear me say it.
Can you hear me now?
We can see you, though.
I think
Yeah.
so.
I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah.
We're not muted.
Well, you can't hear you say that.
I can hear you just fine. Maybe it's like I'm just down the street. Maybe it makes it easier, right?
No, we can hear you. We can hear you. So
Yeah, I can hear
See
you.
that, Patrick? It may be on your side.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
What do I hear now?
I can hear you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Isn't it nice to be able to say good to see you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
We take that for granted, don't we?
Yes.
Without a mask on. I mean,
That's true.
Well, Dick's making some more coffee, so gotta have that coffee throughout the day, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Coffee.
but
You know what? Go ahead.
I had to go to the doctor this week, and it's everything's strange. You can't just walk into the office building and like walk down an aisle. They have somebody at the door to say, "Who are you? Where are you going? What do you need to do?" They direct you. I got into the waiting room, and they handed me some paper and said, "Oh, fill this out." I turned around to go sit down, and every other chair is turned in the opposite direction.
Sure.
So that
Of course.
you can't sit in adjacent chairs.
Yeah, that's okay. That
Trying to
makes
keep people
sense.
separate. It's just ironic. It felt surrealistic. Like this isn't normal at all.
No.
Yeah, not the way it is today.
And
You know,
then
one thing I found is that wearing a mask makes it difficult to hydrate, because if you're wearing a mask a lot, you're not supposed to handle it, and yet how are you supposed to drink water and keep yourself hydrated? And I'll bet you there's going to be a lot of problems with that, because we don't get ourselves hydrated enough.
Well, it seems like that's a market opportunity for someone to come up with a mask with a straw built in. And then separately a chewing
about that
chamber.
with my
we're
friend.
strange.
Yeah, we look weird enough as it is.
So, shall we get formal about this?
Sure.
It's
All
nice
right.
to have the chit chat too.
Yeah, well, there's that for sure.
Oh, here he comes. Now that he's here. Here we go.
Yeah, Dick's here. They're waiting for you, Dick.
Dick, we're just waiting for you.
Dick, since
Thank
you're back,
you for.
we
Did you
will
wash your
start.
hands, Dick?
What day is today?
This is
These
our
crazy
Tuesday
people
morning
in your
yoga.
house. It's Sunday.
See what happens when you leave? Get picked on.
So, Kay, would you do the honors of our candle lighting? By the way, if you have a candle nearby and you would like to join in the sharing of light,
You always look around
Okay.
to see if we have a candle.
Yeah, we actually.
Me too. I'm like, where is it?
I usually have
Yeah.
several of them sitting around me, so I will adopt a more centered and spiritual attitude. Nice talking, though. So
Lighting a candle, you know,
Yes.
Yeah, like,
make it like formal.
this is our signal, so let's begin. We light this candle in recognition of and appreciation for the Christ light within each of us and the presence of the divine in our gathering.
Very good.
If you would, before we get started with song, let me just run over a couple of announcements. As you know, we always have our Monday, Wednesday, and Friday gathering, but tomorrow we are going to be at 5:30. Our real estate team is going to be meeting to discuss the proposals that have been offered by half a dozen different real estate commercial brokers. So that's happening at 5:30. God willing, the creek don't rise. We'll have all of those proposals in mid-afternoon tomorrow. I'll be pinging them to get them in so that we can at least take a look at them before the meeting. This will be a prelude to selecting three of the six that will have then a Zoom presentation from each of them during the week. So that's coming up. And then tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, we'll have a discussion on releasing our unworthiness. That is a continuation of our talk today. It's a discussion following our talk today. And of course, we're going to have discussion during our presentation today. Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock, prayer and meditation. We'll be using a modified mastermind prayer circle and then a meditation. And then on Friday is our fellowship time, where nothing is planned. Everything is on the table. Most things are on the table, at least at a social distancing. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Saturday morning, we're doing it at these times. I will get notices out on occasion, and sometimes I won't, so tune in at 7 o'clock. All right, with that then, our affirmation. Together, please. Living Water Unity is a thriving spiritual community inspired to embrace and our abundant good now. I'm empowered for joyful living by expressing God in each moment. And Maestro, if you would please. Okay. I'm almost there. Hang on just a second, Doug. There we go. And okay. Love is flowing out from you and me, flowing out into the desert, setting all the captives free. Peace is flowing like a river, flowing out from you and me, flowing out into the desert, setting all the captives free. Joy is flowing like a river, flowing out from you and me, flowing out into the desert, setting all the captives free. And who would like to read the daily word this morning? Jump right in there.
I'll do it if nobody else will.
All right.
Today's daily word is world peace, and boy, do we need that. I contribute to peace in the world. When I learn of conflict in my community or in the world, my response may be frustration, sadness, or anger. If I have those feelings, I remember that I am more than merely human. I'm a living expression of God, heir to all that God is. I use my divine faculties of wisdom, understanding, and love to create the abiding peace that is my birthright. Centered in divine peace, I realize that every person is as much as an expression of God as I am. As differences dissolve in a way that transcends human understanding, I come to know oneness with all the world's people. I let this realization shape my response to every person and every situation. And an awareness of my oneness with all people, my thoughts, words, and actions contribute to the peace of the world. The scripture for today is from John 17:22. The glory that you have given me, I have given them, so that they may be one as we are one.
Thank you, Patrick. I'll offer this this opening prayer, and excuse me. I'll offer this open water, please, water. I'll offer this opening prayer, and then I'll ask for requested prayers, and we'll offer these requested prayers one at a time, with a few seconds left after the offering for us to settle into the prayer. And as we settle into the prayer, I would like you to use the technique of offering unconditional love to that situation, that relationship, that individual, whatever the prayer is requested for. But in the context of not trying to fix it, but rather to offer love, to embrace that situation, relationship, individual, with unconditional love, and allow that to initiate a healing process, a resolution of the situation. And so in that context then, as we settle into this awareness of God's presence in each of our locations, there is no holy structure in which we need to be. That the need for the tabernacle has disappeared eons ago. But in our own inner sanctuary, we know that God is a love that has no end and a power that knows no bounds. God's healing power of divine life is restoring, healing, and revitalizing our world in this very moment. We let go of any fears or anxieties, and we affirm that all are safe, healthy, and protected. We bless all those who support us in maintaining vibrant, radiant health. We express divine life in all we think, say, and do. And we bless our global family with radiant health, peace of mind, and abundant love. And so it is.
And so it is.
And our offered prayers for this circle are
I'd like to ask for prayers for our friend Patty Jackson. I had reached out to her almost 3 weeks ago, asking how she was doing, because I know what a crazy work environment she works in. She's an activity director at an assisted living and Alzheimer's center. I finally heard back from her from email just yesterday. Things have been crazy there. There's a lot of illness among the staff and the clients there. More deaths, of course, than they would normally anticipate. And just Thursday, she started having a high fever and body aches and headaches and so forth. She got a test for COVID-19, and she's anticipating getting the results of that in the next couple days. So prayers for Patty, not only for her crazy work environment right now, which has to be extremely stressful, but for her health issues right now. And whether that test comes back negative or positive, we wish her full recovery and good health as soon as possible.
and sending unconditional love to Patty and to her environment.
So did.
And so it is.
And so it is.
I'd like to offer a prayer for my father. He's 93 years old and struggling with a bit of dementia, memory loss. He sits in his chair all day long and just claps his hands. Doesn't want to watch TV or listen to the radio or read anymore. He just sits in his chair all day long and claps his hands. So just pray for peace of mind, close relationship with God, and for diminishing dementia.
And so it is.
I have a problem with my neck and shoulder area, like most people do when there's tension. That's where it goes, and my pain level now is 8. I'm taking a muscle relaxer and using a patch. So please help me get through this.
And so it is.
We'd like to ask prayers for our friend Dr. Mary, who's a veterinarian, who has some ongoing immune problems herself and working in a clinic without a lot of proper protection in very close quarters.
And so it is.
I'm thankful for all the many prayers that you all have offered for me and my daughter, her family, her husband. This week I will be going to California and quarantining for 10 days with a friend, and hopefully expecting a beautiful granddaughter around May 17. So hopefully all will go well and we will all stay healthy, and a beautiful baby will be born soon.
And your daughter's name is?
Alex. And the baby will be McKenna.
Oh.
And so it is. I'd like to offer prayers for Rose and her continued recovery to full vitality, health.
I wanted to say
And so it
thank
is.
you to God and all the people in the prayers. Both of my children are healthy and working, and that just feels like a real blessing. So thank you.
And so it is.
I would ask for prayers for my father, Dean, who is going through the last time in this particular lifespan for him. He and his wife, Sandy, will be traveling from southern Texas to Wisconsin this coming week. They have brought in hospice care for him. He's in extreme pain, but they're anxious to get back north. And so protecting light around Gene and Sandy for these coming times.
And so it is.
I just would like to offer virtual or metaphysical hugs to everyone. I feel we're all starved for that feeling of connection physically. It's nice that we're together like this, but I think we're all missing that power and strength of a good hug. So hugging all of you guys.
Thank you.
And so it is.
Nice to see you here, Ginger.
And for the healthcare workers, the grocery store clerks, the stockers, the distribution chain that keeps us fed, the delivery people that bring that to our doors, we bless them, we appreciate them, we hold them in the light. And so it is.
And so it is.
And for our political leaders that are struggling with the decision of relaxing and allowing more social movement versus the potential of a flare-up of this contagion occurring in that circumstance. We hold them in the light and see them making decisions that are to the best of their ability, in the best interest of each and every one of us. And so it is.
I would like to add my son to those blessings for service workers. He's an auto mechanic and has been working through this, helping to keep people's vehicles on the road so that they have them when they need them. So far, he's healthy and as ornery as ever. So I'm very thankful for that.
And so it is. And as we allow the circumstances of our own lives to unfold, blessing those circumstances, whether they seem to be negative or positive, whether they seem to be a detriment or an addition to our lives. We encounter those circumstances with unconditional love, non-judgment, and allowing this circumstance that we're in, this COVID event in which we're participating, like it or not, allowing it to unfold in its due course, and recognize that regardless of the evidence to the contrary, God is present and God is good at all time. And in that awareness, we together say, Amen. So, how about a little singing? I'm going to mute everybody. I'm going to leave Doug unmuted, so that, or at least his keyboard unmuted, so that we can sing along. But let's give this a shot. I am the light of the world.
I have a question first.
Yes.
You guys have the words to read?
You want the words to read?
Well, there's 4 verses. Does everybody know the words to this? Or am I just going to play it through 4 times by myself? There you go.
It's up now.
All right. Let me mute this.
Let's see. Hang on, Doug. I thought that I had... Nope, you were unmuted. You were muted. Let me unmute you, and if you could, start again. Well, that's interesting. I'm not able to unmute. Can you unmute yourself, Doug? There you go. I am the light of the world. You people come and follow me. If you follow love, you'll know the mystery of what you were meant to do and be. When the song of the angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the saints and the shepherds have found their way home, the work of Christmas is begun. I am the light of the world. You people come and follow me. If you follow and love, you'll learn the mystery of what you were meant to do and be. To free the prisoner from his chains, to make the powerful care, to rebuild the nations with strength of goodwill, to call him and your brother everywhere. I am the light of the world. You people come and follow me. If you follow and love, you'll learn the mystery of what you were meant to do and be. To bring hope to every task you do, to dance at a baby's new birth, to make music in an old man's heart and sing the colors of the earth. I am the light of the world. You people come and follow me. If you follow and love, you'll learn the mystery of what you were meant to do and be. Thank you, Doug.
Welcome. Did that work?
It did work. I made a mistake and started on the wrong slide, but nonetheless, we enjoyed the unaccompanied last part. So, last week we talked about the golden Buddha and the clay covering that was used to protect that golden Buddha from the encroaching armies back several centuries ago. But discovered the golden Buddha was discovered in the mid-50s. Well, one of the sources of that clay Buddha, if we can look at this metaphysically, one of the sources of that clay Buddha are the negative opinions that we hold about ourselves. We have this dialogue that is going on in our minds that can be detrimental to our, not just to our mental health, but our physical health as well. In Tara Brach's book, she talks about these negative self-beliefs, how potent they are. They arise from early experiences of fear and wounding. Due to a survival-driven negativity bias, we remember painful events much more readily than pleasant ones. We remember the critical comment more than something affirming, the dog bite more than the beautiful sunset. And as psychologist Rick Hansen puts it, the brain is Velcro for negative experiences, but Teflon for the positive ones. And we can thank that negative bias, because that negative bias kept our ancestors awake to fend off the saber-toothed tiger that was looking for lunch. We can thank that negative bias for our heightened awareness of the physical surroundings and the dangers that might be in that physical surrounding. And at the same time, we need to recognize that that negative bias has a detrimental effect on our psychic health. She goes on to say that this fixation on what might be threatening is compounded by another tendency called the confirmation bias, which leads us to focus on information that matches or reinforces our existing beliefs, particularly in the case of charged issues like our value as a person. And the upshot is that we make an airtight case for our belief in personal deficiency. Interesting. So, as we consider these aspects of our own inner dynamic, she shares a story of a shaman that in the ancient times the shaman would go to the river and would shed her skin and come back to the village renewed, revitalized, and able to heal and help those in the community. But that that negative, that shedding of skin was the shedding of all of our predispositions about our lack of worth. So we can look at that from a allegorical perspective and see that the shedding of skin is something that is necessary for us to let go of all of those aspects of ourselves, our self-perception, that are negative, detrimental. And in this process of shedding our skin, we are able then to be more compassionate. We are able to let go of our self-imposed limitations, our self-imposed blockages that allow us to show up for people in a more complete and more helpful way. So this negative self-perception is a very solid foundation upon which we build our worldview. And it's a solid foundation because from an evolutionary standpoint, it was very useful. It is encoded in the very essence of our being. And recognizing that we must shed that skin allows us to continue our work to improve, to be more present, to be more compassionate. Indeed, be compassionate in the face of the stuff that's going on around us. When we look at our, when we look at our 5 pillars of faith, these 5 pillars of faith are, there's one power and one presence, God the good, omnipotence. The one Son of God, the Christ, abides in each of us, and the thoughts we hold in mind manifest in our experience. The tools of transformation of consciousness are prayer, meditation, denials, and affirmations, and we change our lives by applying these principles. The third principle is, in my mind, the third principle is the most active principle. It is here where we are defining our world. It is here where we are defining our reality. But that reality that we construct is not necessarily true. That reality that we construct with our negative bias, with our confirmation bias, with our thoughts held in mind, if they are cascading in a negative, detrimental direction, we need to be aware of that, because those thoughts can feed upon themselves. Those thoughts, we start with a negative thought, and then we look for reasons why that negative thought is useful and protective, and we continue with that thinking process that brings us down a cascade into a worldview where I'm worth little, that I have nothing to offer to my fellow beings on this planet, that I am, in essence, I am worthless. And that is just a figment of our imagination. It is a powerful principle, and it's been applied in the wrong way. So if we back up that cascade, if we hike back up the mountain, if we go to the source of that, that is what the RAIN process is about. The RAIN process is the recognition, the allowing, the investigating, and the nurturing, recognizing our thoughts, our feelings, our sensations in this moment, allowing those thoughts, feelings, sensations, and the collateral damage, if you will, or the collateral implications, allowing that to be without judgment, so that we can acknowledge that, oh yeah, this is really happening. This is what this is where my pain is coming from. But I'm going to allow that for now. Then the investigation is delving into the situation, playing out the what ifs, looking at the worst case, best case scenarios, trying to understand the dynamics of that, and then nurturing what do we need to do right now to ease the pain, to heal the wounds. So this process is one that is, it's a powerful process if we are able to stop, if we're able to listen, and if we're able to assess what that dynamic is doing for us. I'd like you to consider that this thought process, this cascade of negative emotions or positive emotions, is something that once we're in the habit of practicing that negative or that positive cascade of thought, once we're in the habit of that, it takes a certain amount of chutzpah to step back and look at it and recognize what is going on, to allow ourselves the freedom to make a change. Tara goes on in her book to describe for us the freedom that comes from our willingness and our skill in applying this RAIN process. She talks about, on the one hand, it allows us to move to the realization that from a Buddhist perspective, there is no real self. There is a no self. That we are merely an expression of the all that is all. Now, that's not a Buddhist philosophy, but in the unity context, that's what it means. That there is no separate individual self, but rather we are an expression of that divine presence. And practicing that RAIN process allows us to get to the point where we have the freedom of realizing that indeed we are an individualized expression of the divine that is powerful, that is useful, that can be applied to the help and healing of others. So letting go is not just letting go is not the practice. It's recognizing, it's allowing, and then it's investigating and it's nurturing. So I'd like to open the floor here. You can either use your space bar or unmute, but I'd like to ask the question, in what arena of your life have you found this to be true? Career, personal relationships, intimate relationships, the spouse, the close friend, that sort of thing. Parenting. Where have you found this realization to appear in your life?
I've been having a lot of the negative cascade that you're talking about. When I see the protesters with guns, I can feel myself despairing over the future and just kind of wonder where it's going to happen, what's going to happen with it, where it's going to end.
I know what you're talking about. And for those of you who are my Facebook friends, you also know that I know what you're talking about. The floor is open.
Well, I have to tell you that my experience was with my wife, who passed away 9 years ago, but she could do exactly the power that you're talking about in all aspects, and I had never had even thought that we could do what she showed me that we can do, and what she showed others what she could do. And she did have, I presume, unconditional love. So thank you for letting me share that.
Well, that experience of of being surprised or being of having the revelation that you really can do that you experienced in witnessing your wife's practice of it is something that many, perhaps most of us go through. That is, we have to have someone say, "Hey, wake up! Hey, look at this! Hey, over here! You can do this!" To be able to realize that we don't have to have this, we don't have to be riding the flow of that negative cascade of thoughts and end up in a pool of a worldview that shows that we are worthless. That is not something that we have to do. We do that only because we don't know another way. I hear somebody.
Third pillar. Hello, hello.
Okay.
Anybody hear me?
Yes. Now we can.
Yeah.
There you
go. Yeah, I was just saying, I've been in Unity now for 35 years, and third pillar of faith, that thoughts of the mind will manifest your experience. I see that every single day of my life. And whether I'm beating myself up or other people. And the cool thing is you know that to be true, that it's the thoughts in your mind. And I just think that as soon as you catch yourself doing it, you got to immediately change the focus of your mind.
Yeah, recognizing it and then allowing yourself to continue on, not to violate or not to contradict this RAIN process, but to allow yourself to go on with that, to recognize and allow it to be is one thing, but to recognize it and then allow yourself to go on with that, that's detrimental to you. Allowing it to be is not about continuing with that thought, but rather allowing that recognition to sit with you without judgment. That's what the allowing is referring to in the RAIN process. Well, thank you for that.
And I've talked about, just in traffic, somebody cuts you off. And it's so easy to get upset with that. That's something before COVID, I used to on a daily basis. And I would make up an excuse for that driver, that they were in a hurry going to get fired from work, or their wife is going to have a baby, or they had a fight with their spouse. And when I saw those 4 things on the previous screen, allow it to be with me, I like that to be very short and just move on to more peace of mind.
Yeah, the RAIN process is about allowing it to be without judgment, but then investigating why that is so. Investigating the circumstances of that, investigating the feeling, the body sensation that come along with that, investigating what effect it has on our day-to-day life, on our minute-to-minute relationships. I found that forgiving the driver in traffic is a lot easier than forgiving my wife or forgiving my daughter or my grandson. Those are the more challenging forgiveness opportunities for me.
Is Linda watching?
I don't know. She may be incognito. Linda is my wife, for those who don't know. Anything else? Any other revelations that you've had from this? So this process then is one of recognition. It's stopping. It's assessing. It is allowing without judgment. It's investigating the circumstances, investigating the ramifications of that thought, remembering that those thoughts are just our own creation. They are, in fact, a powerful aspect of our being, is our creative process through our thoughts. But recognizing they are only our own thoughts. And those thoughts can change if we so choose. So I'd like you to consider this process in meditation. If you would bring to mind a circumstance in your life where you are holding a negative opinion of either your performance in a particular situation or a negative aspect that you would like to change. I see this aspect of myself and I really want to get rid of it. It's not serving me any longer. So if you are comfortable, I'd like you to relax into a sacred space. Begin with some square breathing. Square breathing is the inhaling, the intentional inhaling, holding, exhaling, and holding. And I encourage you to use as long a period as is comfortable. So I'll count to 8 for the inhale. Inhale deeply from the bottom of your torso all the way up to under your shoulder blades, under your collarbone. So we begin with an inhale. Holding. Exhale. Holding. Inhale. Holding. Exhale. Holding. Inhale. Holding. Exhale. Holding. And continue in a way that allows you deep breathing, intentional breathing, filling yourself and expelling all that you have used. Filling the lungs fully, emptying the lungs completely. And in this awareness, allow yourselves to bring to mind that negative aspect that you hold of yourself. What is the belief behind that thought? Do you hear a voice mouthing that belief? The voice of a parent or the voice of a friend or the voice of a teacher? Or anyone in authority in your younger life? Visualize a situation in which this belief emerges, how it becomes part of the situation. It's a dynamic in the situation, in the relationship. And your beliefs are really the litmus test upon which you build your worldview. It's against your beliefs that you assess your thoughts and feelings, against which you validate those thoughts and feelings. And it's the foundation upon which you build your perception of reality. That may not be true. It may be real for you because you have built this worldview, as each of us builds our worldview. But that may not be true. And if you're holding a worldview that's going to be contrary to the health of your psyche, going to be contrary to the realization of your divine worth, then it's time to let that go. So what are you believing about yourself in this situation? Now, are you willing to allow that belief to be present without your judgment of it? Are you willing to just acknowledge that, okay, yeah, that's how I feel. That's what my belief is. Are you willing to allow that without judgment? Because if we're going to be in conflict with that belief, we're not able to get to the root of it. We're not able to get to the point of exorcising that from our psyche. So we allow that belief to be without judgment. Recognize it. Allow it. And then investigate. Is it true? Are you certain that it is true? How do you know that it is true? What is your proof that it is true? What's it like to live with this belief? What does it cause in your life? How does it appear in your relationships? How does it appear in your working with others? How does it appear when you are in the quiet by yourself? And once again, is it true? How do you know it's true? What proof do you have? What emotions are associated with this belief? Anger, shame, fear, self-hatred, self-loathing. Those are very real emotions, but they may not be true. But you could hold on to them very tightly because you're familiar with that self. You're familiar with that perception of who you are. You're engaged in that perception of who you are. And to allow that there may be a different reality, a different truth that emerges if you let go of that belief. That can be frightening. Who will I be in this new self? What will others think of me in my new self? How is this new self going to change my life? My God, it could present more challenges. I have to figure things out in a different way. I have to encounter my relationships in a whole new way. And what will they think of me in this new self? And how has living with this belief affected my life? What if I allowed this belief to disappear, to be acknowledged as a lesson learned, but to be in that pile of been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, and move on? And what in this situation would help me heal? What message or energy or touch or image would be helpful in my healing? These are wounds that reside within us, wounds that are open, sometimes festering, certainly subject to the slings and arrows that others might throw at us. Yet if we accept those slings and arrows, that's not the other's fault. That's our own. We have accepted those wounds. We have accepted those pains. We have accepted those insults. We've accepted those bad words. We have accepted those things that have caused us, and that's in quotes, caused us the pain. There was nothing out there that caused us the pain. We've only allowed it. So what is the healing balm that will allow us to heal the wounds and finally let go of the beliefs that are interrupting our lives? Breathing in and breathing out. This process may be, it may be necessary to repeat this process several times for any given belief. I encourage you to have patience with that process. Have patience with yourself. Recognize that you have lived these many years with that belief, and it is certainly a part of your psyche. But you can unhook it. You can extract it. You can bless it and allow it to be in your past. It doesn't need to be in your present. And it certainly doesn't need to be in your future. But each of us has to make that decision individually, perhaps on an ongoing basis, for several iterations, maybe many iterations, because a belief might be settled in and rooted very deeply in our psyche. But that belief, once we recognize it is detrimental, is removable. Recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. It will loosen the roots from that impacted soil. We have the power to change who we represent ourselves to be. The truth of who we are is a divine being living in this human experience. But the reality that we build for ourselves is very plastic. It's changeable. And we can make those changes intentionally. That's the power of that third principle. The thoughts we hold in mind manifest in our experience. Jesus offered us this. When Jesus went about the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues and proclaiming the good news of the kingdom and curing every disease and every sickness, when he saw the crowds, he had compassion for them because they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, "The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore ask the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest. Each and every one of us is one of those laborers. The world is waiting for our expression of the power of who we truly are. The world is waiting for our compassion to be expressed for those in need, for those who are hurting, for those who are imprisoned by their own self-conception. We are those laborers. And that fundamental aspect of creation, that vibration of creation that we call God, is calling us to be present, calling us to be compassionate, calling us to be the helpers in this world. And we look around, particularly in this COVID experience, and we look around and we see all kinds of opportunities for us to be compassionate, for us to be helpful. We see people are in pain. We see people who are isolated. We see people who are in need but unwilling to ask, to reach out and say, hey, help me. Because after all, we are self-sufficient. After all, we are, right? We are the individuals. We have built a life of power and self-expression. So it's hard for us to reach out and say, help me. So let's look for those opportunities. Let's allow ourselves to be present for others, compassionately, in unconditional love. And as we come back into this awareness that we truly are children of the divine, we are the laborers that are being called forth into the harvest. We are the ones that are here allowing ourselves to let go of our negative beliefs about ourselves so that we can open up to a greater expression of compassion, of who we really are, of who we truly are, and to reach out and say, can I help? A few deep breaths. And so it is. So, how are you feeling?
Good.
Let's have an offering blessing. As we take our offerings in our hand, let us bless them with this offering statement. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Together, please. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give,
all that I receive,
and all that I receive. I give in love because I trust in God. And Maestro, if you would, let there be peace. Hang on a second. I'm still trying to find your keyboard. If you could unmute Doug, that would be helpful. Oh, I know it's here. Doug, I'm trying to find. There it is. Good. Thank you. Okay. That was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Well, thank you all. Thanks for being here. And time for fellowship. Grab a cup of coffee, some water, some crumpets, whatever you choose. And we're here.
Thank you.
I wanted to make a quick aside with that breathing we just did. I've learned that breathing a while back. The other night I woke up with a really bad headache, and I don't get them very often. But for some reason I started doing that breathing, and my headache went away. And normally I have to take like the BC powder with 1,000 milligrams of aspirin or something. But I did that breathing technique we just did, and it's only happened once. But my headache went away, so I thought I'd share that with you guys in case it's a breathing technique. It was awesome.
Intentional breathing is something that allows us to get out of our made-up space and into an awareness of the present. And thank you for sharing that, Patrick.
Absolutely.
Breathing is probably a way to stay healthy overall in this time of COVID. Keep your lungs strong, too.
That's right.
And that was a great meditation, David. I loved it.
Thank you. I'm going to unmute everybody. Yep.
Thanks.
Okay. There you go. So how are you feeling about that process? I'm continually looking for feedback on this Zoom experience.
Well, overall, nothing replaces a group being together. In my heart, anyway. But it is what we can do now, and I also, especially in the more casual get-togethers we've had through Zoom, I have had a lot more conversation with many people than I usually do at a service, because so often people come in while we're in the first tune or something, and then they're out the door as soon as we finish. And some people come in and we greet and we talk, but there's been a lot more conversation in this format and under these circumstances because people are sticking around a little longer and we're getting to know each other.
Well, thanks for that comment, too. I hadn't realized that, and that's a useful realization.
Oh, I wanted to mention to Doug. Doug, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to tell you, just as an aside to you personally, in my mind, I did Don's rim shot in the last tune we just did. So.
Oh, he did it outside of his. He did it outside of his mind. I heard. He also did a little boom boom, the boom bass during our congregation tune. So he was there playing.
Somehow I knew that.
I just had to do that rim shot, man. I couldn't pass it by.
For those of you that don't know, Don Grove is our drummer that recently made his transition, much to our sadness.
Doug, thank you so much for playing for us. I don't know whether there's a lag in the time or what, but it seems like it's faster than what we can keep up with. I don't know if that's been just an R echo.
It might be lag because that's the exact same tempo we do every Sunday for years.
Okay. So
I can
maybe-
do. I actually played the hymn slower on purpose for that reason, because you guys were having trouble keeping up the sing along. But Let There Be Peace is the same tempo. I can start playing everything slower if you want.
No, I don't think it's the slower. I think it's from one line to the next, maybe just a teeny pause, because it just seems to go one right into the other and then I lose it. I don't know if anybody else experiences that. It may just be the way our computer is working. We sure appreciate you doing it.
I can't hear because I have to take my headphones off or I hear the echo.
Yeah.
You know, I hear it come in a second after I played it. I've tried that. I can't do it. I can't sustain that.
Hey,
And I also,
do you have a keyboard in your bathroom too?
I'm in my bathroom. What are you talking about? What do you think I'm sitting on?
I didn't know you had the grand piano in your bathroom, because I can see that in the background.
I have all my keyboards in the bathroom.
That's way too much information right there.
Yeah, I was just going to say that image is going to be very hard to get rid of. I'm going to have to use the rain process on that image.
See those doors back there? That is the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
You have enough toilet paper.
Doug, how do you like living where you're living now? It's probably very different, isn't it?
Do you want an honest answer?
Yeah.
Very hard transition from a house of 30 years into a condo with shared walls.
Yeah.
On the east side of town, it's been very hard to make this transition.
Yeah, his backyard.
Plus, I haven't been able to meet anybody. Everybody's, inside. So it's like it's all new walls, but I got, it's.
Lots of people around, but no intimacy.
Yeah, people walking by all the time.
Yeah.
Well, it'll get better. It has to get better.
Yeah, it's better.
My husband went and visited a friend. He's immune compromised and receives plasma monthly for extra antibodies. And he's living in an apartment and never ever leaves. He's out in Golden on the 3rd floor of a condo complex or apartment complex for people over 55. And my husband helped him move in at the beginning of April with a mask and gloves and all that stuff. But anyway, he stopped by his apartment, just stood outside and took a drone and went up to the 3rd floor and surprised him and say, "Hi, John." So that was kind of a fun way. And I could imagine, going from apartment to apartment, and like, "Hi, I'm your neighbor. I'm not trying to be intrusive, but I just wanted to say hi in a safe way." So that was fun. I actually had a dream last night that I drove east and just went and went and went. I really miss going for drives and, but then at the end of my dream it was like, oh, my mask. I was actually dreaming about my mask.
My mask.
Hey, Sue, are you driving to California?
I'm actually leaving Thursday. Yeah. Oh, and I'm flying. I'm flying. We thought about driving. Gary was going to drive me, and then he would catch a flight back. But they have an extra car, and we figured with truck stops and restaurants and staying overnight in a hotel, all of those things, we would have just as much exposure as flying for 2 hours on a plane. So.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the story about my daughter flying back from Montana, and she was one of 3 passengers on the plane. So the pilot came on and wished them all welcome on their private jet back to Denver. So they're trying to make life. So another cute story. My John's niece was supposed to get married in New Jersey this past Friday, and obviously they had to postpone their celebration. But they made up T-shirts that said "Almost Married, May 1st, 2020," and then they did this whole video, 10-step video of canceling their COVID wedding and stuff. It was really adorable, so they made the best of it. So, but it's kind of cute.
My granddaughter in Fort Collins is a senior, and they had no senior prom. Well, they decided to go with a couple of the neighbor girls who are also seniors and do a prom under the stars. And it was just out on the grass, and they got this big thing of balloons and put it over the top of them and some streamers behind them, and they all got dressed up and they took pictures with their families, and they didn't interact with each other much, but it was just something that they could have in their photo album or as a memory that was very uniquely special. So I just want to celebrate with Sydney, you know.
Oh, that's a cute story.
Bob, is Chris okay?
Yeah, she's fine. She just didn't sleep well last night, so she didn't
Okay, good.
stay here.
Give her our best.
And Laura, I hope you and Pat come back again.
Say hi to Janine for me. This is Sharon.
Oh, I
Will do,
will.
Sharon.
We'll see her. I'm taking her to work today. So.
Okay, you tell her I said hi.
All right, thank you. I
Tell her
will.
to be careful there at Walmart. It's lots of people, and
Well, this is the first of the month, and this is her third day on, and when she comes home today, that's it. She's done for a couple of days, and she's just exhausted, but she's staying well, and that's what's most important.
Yeah. Yeah. Throw up a prayer for her every day.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, guys, take care. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Later, Dick, Cindy.
Take care. See you next week.
You guys all have a great week. Be safe.
Yes. Yes, everybody.
A couple of Doug David taking a walk.
Have a good trip, Sue.
I like your view, by the way, Doug.
What's that?
He's gonna go, but I'm gonna
I
stay.
gotta go wipe my cup. It's gross.
Yes, it does.
Something that I've been exploring is whenever I go out for a grocery run, that I'll use hydrogen peroxide as a mouthwash. Not swallow it. It does weird things to the stomach, but not, as far as I know, not damaging things. But it does.
No, it's not good.
It does catch the any COVID that might be, or virus that might be in my mouth. So that's something that you may want to consider when you go out and interact.
You might have.
Okay, David, I gotta say something there. Avoid hydrogen peroxide. If you want to use a saline mouthwash, a little bit of salt and salt water. Saline is great for ridding your mouth of bacteria. And hydrogen peroxide will burn your tissues in your mouth, and it can cause tissue damage. It's not a good option.
Okay.
My dentist, quite frankly,
dilute
ran
it a
me over
little
the
bit.
coals for that myself, because that was one of the things that I used to do, thinking that was a good step. It's not.
Okay.
It's
All right.
not healthy for your gum tissue.
Well, thanks for that.
Saline, a little bit of water, the same thing you would lavage your sinuses with. It flushes bacteria and pollution out, or pollen out, and gives you what you need. So.
What is the how much salt do you put in the water?
I use like a teaspoon, half teaspoon. In a
Oh,
glass
okay.
of
So
water.
it's not very salty
plenty.
then.
Very versatile, and don't swallow it.
Yeah.
Wash your mouth out with it, spit it out.
Right.
That will help kill the bacteria.
Good. Well, thank you for that.
What I've heard about peroxide in general is anytime you use it, even topically, you should always rinse with water when you're finished. You never leave it on your skin after cleaning the cut. Always rinse it. And if you're going to gargle with it, dilute it, and also rinse with water afterwards.
Right. Yeah, that's certainly a practice that I've been doing. But thanks for that saline suggestion.
Just use mouthwash.
Yeah.
It sure will make your teeth white, though, huh?
Yeah, it does.
They did. Yeah. Like Mac the Knife, all pearly white.
I prefer to drink bleach.
There you go.
I've
been told by the authorities that that's okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I've been injecting bleach between my toes because I didn't want to have those bleach tracks on my arm.
Yep. Yep, they'll come to your funeral and they say, "Well, he sure is dead, but don't his teeth look nice?"
Yes.
A nice dirge. A nice dirge.
What?
I know I'm reaching a point where I'm really feeling really the need to just go to the store. Because I have not done that. I have had curbside delivery, and it's for the most part worked very well. But there's always been a little something wrong. And one thing that was really driving me to it, I mean, we are very healthy. We do not have any immune disorders or anything, but we're in the age group. We're older. And one thing that I discovered now with King Super's curbside pickup or delivery, the things you would want to get to disinfect, the surfaces, disinfect surfaces, the bleach, the Lysol, all of those things.
Rubbing alcohol.
Rubbing alcohol. They are not available for curbside pickup or delivery, in store only.
Oh, really?
And that's one of the things I'd like to go into the store and say, hey, the people who need it most, you're saying, you won't bring it out to us. You'll bring out anything else. And I understand their motivation is probably to avoid hoarding. But at the same time, we can't get those things unless we go into the store through the crowd.
Right.
I've only found rubbing alcohol once. I've tried. Every time I go in, I look. They've been out of any kind of cleaning stuff. And the rubbing alcohol, I finally got some, so I just carry it around with paper towels.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, our young next door neighbor has been very kind to us. They're doing their own. I think they cut a roll of paper towels in half, put it in a coffee can, and then pull the core out so you can pull them out from the middle. Mm-hmm. She gave us a whole coffee can full of wipes. Now, in exchange, she was unable to find gin, and they had it at our liquor store. So she got gin, we got wipes.
Cool.
It was a fair trade.
It's an odd bartering world these days.
Yes.
Yeah.
I even bought her bottles of tonic water.
There's Doug's.
I see people, Doug.
Doug, there are humans out there.
It's a parking lot. It's a parking garage. That's my view now. Instead of the lake.
All right, score.
I'll suggest to you what I suggested to my dad. Just set a chair outside, put a mask on, and wave at people and see if they'll come over and talk.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do the first part of that. I don't wave at people and talk to them.
You could sit out there. You could sit out there with a mask on and yell at them and say, "Hey, get off my lawn."
I do sit out there in the grass.
In our townhome, we have 5 units, fairly close together, and we sit outside all the time. We put masks on and just sit about 6-8 feet apart, and it's great. And my neighbor did something the other day, which was really so cool. Gave us all sit to lift. She put little homemade May baskets out on our door.
Oh, nice.
And she had a little orange and a lime and 2 strawberries and 3 tomatoes in there. And little ones, And it was just
nice.
Happy spring, May Day, and a little thing like that. Such a special thing for, and then not knowing who it was, my other neighbor sent me a text and said, was that from you? That was really sweet. And I said, no, it wasn't for me. It was from somebody else in our group. But anyway, it was kind of sleuthing it out to who it was.
Oh, he's going outside. Doug is going outside.
He's on the move.
Yes, he's going.
He's outdoors.
Explore the world. Yay! Oh, what a nice area. There you go.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
going to keep the grass. That's good. That's
Very
good.
therapeutic. Here's my car. That's my view.
Well,
That kind of looks like our place, except that they're 1 story high, or 2 stories. Yeah.
This building is the oldest ones in this complex are 2 stories. All the others are 4 stories.
Oh. Well, I'm going to leave you all, and thank you for being here for us all.
Hugs to Janine.
You too. Have a good one.
Have a good week.
Well,
Stay well.
we get to see your place, Doug.
Yeah,
I like the kitchen.
sure,
I like the
Doug.
kitchen. That's a nice.
I love that kitchen.
Ooh.
That's a big kitchen.
I made beef short ribs in the slow cooker yesterday.
Oh,
Short ribs?
Oh, that's nice workspace.
Where did you find beef, Doug? I thought we couldn't find beef anymore. Are
They
you
had it at
horse-
King
Are you
King
a horse-
Supers had it. King Supers had it. Here's where I spend most of my time, right here, looking at the TV.
That's not the bathroom.
It's a nice sized living room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know, you have more indoor space, but that's that nice outdoor space you used to have.
That's way less storage, too.
Now wait a minute, Doug. You didn't wear shoes to the church service this morning? Oh man.
Hey, at least he had pants on.
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
I see pants.
So you think?
Says the guy that didn't have any pants on.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
you think?
I just like, I didn't say that. I didn't.
That's the first time since
Do
I
I have-
started
do I
doing
have to
this.
prove-
I put pants on too.
Do I have to
Pair of shorts and it was an F.
That's the portable pants.
Well, Doug, I liked the video tour. That was nice.
Yeah.
Nice place.
This is my. I put my mom's shelf and all the antique tables in here for my little entranceway. It used to be a dining room in the old place, I guess. The old place.
Oh,
Whoever
nice.
had this, whoever had this place before, this was their dining room. I turned it into my entranceway.
Good, good.
I recognize
And
that clock.
I'd show you the bedroom, but it's pretty much a mess.
Your camera's still on, Doug.
No. You didn't get to see details.
Yeah, nice.
I'll show you the ongoing project that's never been fixed.
Uh-oh.
Oops.
Oh, that's it.
Oh.
That's it. I see it now.
Wow.
I remember you talking about it, Doug, but I never.
This is where it's pouring through the roof when I had the piano moved in here. It's flooding this bathroom. So, and this still, they fixed the leak, but they haven't patched the.
Oh yeah, you gotta plug
It's
that.
it's not a priority.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Not for them, it's not.
Oh, there's the beautiful piano. Oh,
she is.
I think I would be
Everything in
hestant
here.
about having workers come in my house at this stage of the game,
Yeah, yeah.
particularly workers that have been in other people's houses.
Look at all those
Strange
keyboards.
Well, I did order a piano tuning. Piano tuner's still working. He's going to come and tune it. He's going to clean everything, but the state is paid to have my piano tuned.
The state?
I just got a bunch of money deposited directly to my account from unemployment.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent.
I got the weekly pay from the state plus $600 a week on top of it.
Right,
oh,
right.
good.
So I have no motivation to ever come back to work.
Well, doesn't that mean
you love
that?
us, don't you, Doug?
Doesn't that mean that we shouldn't pay you because otherwise it would?
Actually, I was going to tell you that. Just don't even bother until this goes away. Then
I was just kidding. I was just kidding.
Well, you know, Doug, I still know people at my old job. I will rat you out in a heartbeat.
And you'll get a reward for that, won't you, Clarence?
I'll tell you, if someone calls me for a gig, I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
I am tired of not playing music except by myself.
Well,
a lot of people are real bad out there.
I just want Clarence to get out a guitar in the living room because I love listening, and he really hasn't been doing it. I miss hearing him.
Yeah.
Just play for me. I'll be very attentive.
Okay.
Yeah, but
That's
will
what
you
I'm afraid of.
applaud?
So, Clarence, why don't you sing and play a tune for us next week?
I think he should. He could just do acoustic guitar and voice.
I think that concert type music might work better than sing along type music.
I probably
You're right.
could.
Yeah, that might be
I
very
probably
good.
could. I mean, if you're serious, you want me to do it, it would not really be a problem. So
The one I've been wanting him to put up on Facebook is "You're Not Alone."
I was thinking about that song this morning.
yeah.
It's a good one. It's a good one for that. You know?
Well, let's plan on it then.
Well, all right. If you want me to work something up, I will do it. And
Could have special music again.
I'll just do it. I'll just do it acoustically here in the living room, and we can do it. So.
Of course, the candle's still lit. We're not putting out the candle before every piece.
All right. Put the candle out, and then I'll go.
Okay,
Clarence, I heard.
I'll just.
I heard Emmylou Harris's version of "Hard Times"
Carry
this
it into
morning.
the world and all that good stuff. Bye bye, candle.
What was that?
I heard on NPR they've been doing a series on songs that have been uplifting to people throughout the crisis, and the song that they focused on this morning that this one person wrote in about was Emmylou Harris's version of "Hard Times."
Oh,
I've never heard her version.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'll have to check it out.
You can go all private on it. And actually,
Download, take a listen to it.
you two could sit out in the backyard about 10 feet apart and just go for it. You know,
A microphone.
That's one way to
between you.
meet your neighbors too.
That's true.
Oh yeah, all of them.
Open your
Trinity,
windows. Nice day.
Is her version new or is it an older one they just revitalized?
I think it's old.
Okay.
It's with the Nashville Ramblers or something.
Okay. Sounds like a car dealership.
Yeah.
Paul.
Okay. I'll work something up. And you want me to do it next week? I'll be ready. So.
Hi,
All right.
Coffee.
We'll do that instead of a congregation
good.
song next week.
What's that? I'm sorry.
We'll do that instead of the congregation song, the hymn.
Okay.
We'll still have the entree and the extra, but we'll.
It might serve to, I actually wonder if people are sitting home singing this thing or they're just listening to me play it 4 times through. So
I don't know.
Either way, it's good.
We're singing.
Hey, I'm actually singing out loud in front of Clarence, which I usually don't do because I even gave him permission to try a harmony today, and if it threw me off, nobody else would know.
No, I know better than that.
No, I was singing.
He was booming. He was providing bass. Yeah.
I remember Clarence, I think the first time you ever did guitar and sang at the dojo, it was Blackbird.
Might have been.
Well, the first time as special music,
That's
we could do
fun.
Blackbird well, all on your own with the guitar and the whole bit.
Yeah, first time I did special music way back at the dojo, ironically, was the Sunday right after 9/11. And I thought, oh, crap, this is going to be a hard audience to pitch to today, So
He'd already picked songs that were perfect.
I'd already picked songs in case they would just go with what you did. So I said, okay. So
Because he did Don't Let Us Get Sick,
Yeah.
and he did You've Got a Friend.
did I? Did
No,
I?
not, was it good? You've Got
I
a
don't
Friend?
know.
Yes. Yeah. No, Shower the People.
Shower the people.
Yeah, Shower the People.
I don't remember what I had for breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I didn't have any breakfast. Okay.
Certain things do stick in your mind, and that stuck in my mind because I thought, oh, great. This is my first time doing this. And really, 9/11 was like 5 days ago. So,
On 9/9, we had 27 people in the dojo. On
Yeah.
9/16, we had 71.
Yeah. I remember.
You got a big audience.
Yeah, I still remember that. Timing is everything.
Yeah, Jenna Radcliffe became a part of our congregation right after the shootings in Newtown. And Rose is still working. I think she just has her mic on, and she gets customers once or patients once in a while at her desk, and then it says she's talking. I think she's just listening in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There and there. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been in and out on my deck. It was just a little bit too cool out there without a jacket, but that's a beautiful day.
Betty, how are you doing?
Trinity, you're all backlit.
Betty, how are you doing?
Doing great.
Good to see you on
Thanks.
video.
Do you and Jerry live together?
Yep, I live downstairs. She's eat upstairs, but I live downstairs.
Uh-huh. That's working out well for you?
Oh yeah, really good.
That's good.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, anyway, you have to ask.
We had someone living in our basement for a long time, and it worked out really well. They had to come in the front door, but they had a walkout basement, and it wasn't even like a basement, so we managed to get it all cleaned up, and he had a nice little living area down there for about a year. But that was a while ago, and our lower level has changed quite a bit since then. Unfortunately, it's one of those things we always have to attend to.
Yeah. Well, this is my exercise going up and downstairs.
Yeah, I worry about that. Yeah, too. Paul doesn't like me to go downstairs.
Feelings on both sides.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad.
I know people have moved to houses without stairs because they're saying, "Well, I'm not going to be able to go up and down stairs soon." My theory is if you keep going up and down the stairs, you'll be able to do it longer. If you never go up and down the stairs,
that's the way I look at it.
Particularly if the food is upstairs.
There you go.
Well, I have a refrigerator down here, though. I can keep my ice cream in it.
That's good.
It's worthy food to keep local, for sure.
And nobody has to know that you've dug into the ice cream. Yeah.
Trinity, you're outside now.
Yep.
Yes, I am. I discovered I've never really used the webcam on this computer, and it's pretty old and crappy, and the light is always bad, so that's part of the reason why I tend to not have the video on. But yeah, I thought I'd sit out on the balcony and.
You got a lot of light behind you. Make sure.
Yeah, that's the problem. I have so much light in my place, and unfortunately, you can see golfers. Trying to see if I can get to where you can see.
Yeah, we see the course.
Not. I can see it.
Yeah, we can see it.
This camera can't quite handle it. So, and now my battery is running low, so I may have to go back inside anyway.
David's wife Linda told me about this Facebook group, The View Out My Window, and there are people from all over the world who are in quarantine that are taking pictures outside their window and posting it, and people all over the world are just giving each other support. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I can imagine Doug thinking about the view outside his last window. I don't want to depress you.
Yeah, make the best of what you have right now. It's a pretty nice little area out there.
There's some trees and grass.
It actually looks a lot like Pat and David's place that they were in out in Aurora for a while.
Be right back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So.
Well, they weren't at Windsor Gardens, were they?
Yes. It was the same complex that had that huge fire.
Oh, Heather Gardens.
Heather Gardens.
Yeah. Live there.
My folks lived there back in the mid to late 70s.
Before they went to Arizona.
Yeah.
They were there.
So Doug isn't near Heather Gardens, though. It's a different part of town.
Yeah.
No, Heather Gardens is closer to I-20 or 225 and Parkway Road.
Exactly.
225.
I'm up at Alameda and Havana.
Right.
So you're not as far out.
It's not. It's only a few miles away from Heather Gardens.
The age of the buildings over there is all kind of similar. That as the city grew out, those buildings kind of look similar, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, for those of you who know Pat and David, they just bought their first home together.
Oh, good.
They live in Urbana-Champaign, Illinois.
Right.
And she was working for a cultural center there since January and was working part-time. And then when COVID hit, they started letting her work part-time, even more part-time, sharing hours. And then when she couldn't work at all, they continuing to pay her through the end of April. So now she's on unemployment, but they feel like they're doing really, really well because they planned out things well before this all hit. You know, not that they saw it coming, but they were really careful, and they're really enjoying home ownership and having a garden outside and having friends not as far away out there that they've known for a long, long time. And
yeah,
her son and her grandson and her friend Rose in Chicago.